Black Ops 6 will save Warzone 4. Or is it Warzone 2? 3? Just Warzone? I don't know anymore.
What do you want from me?
You want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
Call of Duty's Black Ops 6 is just around the corner, generating excitement following a well-received beta and the longest development cycle in the franchise's history. But what does this mean exactly for Raven's Warzone? Warzone has been quite the roller coaster since its release, and the features that will carry over to Warzone are game-changing. That term is thrown around a lot, I know, but this iteration of Warzone will make the game unrecognizable compared to its launch just 2 years ago. Before I explain why, I want to paint a brief picture of Warzone up until this point, so just stick with me for a moment. In 2019, the Modern Warfare series was revived with the promise of another battle royale following Call of Duty Blackout. This was originally planned as a sequel to Blackout and was supposed to be a standalone mode next to Modern Warfare with no long-term plans. The game achieved massive success, and although Call of Duty always sold well, this release felt like a true revival of the series, particularly in terms of reclaiming its place in the mainstream spotlight. What was initially a one-year plan for Warzone suddenly became the cornerstone of Call of Duty's future. Treyarch's Battle Royale, which was set to release alongside Cold War, was shelved and transformed into its own mode. If you earned the Dark Matter Mastery camo in Cold War, you might have experienced it through grinding the rocket camos. So instead of pivoting, the weapons from Treyarch's Cold War and Sledgehammer's Vanguard that released the year after were added into Warzone. But Warzone stayed Warzone. Unlike today where the multiplayer and Battle Royale share mechanics, the influence and success of Infinity Ward's Warzone 1 and Modern Warfare kept Warzone 1 exactly the same for 3 years, just with new items and themes. For Cold War, it made sense not to disrupt the success of Warzone 1. However, Vanguard's new graphics and faster movement speeds could have been integrated, as it used the same engine and was advertised as such. Many players didn't realize until release that Warzone would remain unchanged. The Caldera year of Warzone was not well received and the game stayed the same. Warzone today is different though. The mechanics and core features of both MW3 and now Treyarch are being integrated into Warzone, but I don't think it was always planned this way. The launch of Warzone 2 feels like a distant fever dream. Most of us were huffing the copium and expected the issues of Warzone 1 to go away and to receive an upgrade with this. The first year of Warzone 2 was spent watching Raven gradually reclaiming control from Infinity Ward. At launch, there was no plating while sprinting, and both ADS and movement speeds were significantly reduced. For about 6 months, the RPK Fennec meta dominated, and there was no resurgence mode or map in sight. It honestly felt like they had given up on Warzone. Warzone 2 seemed like an afterthought, with Infinity Ward focusing more on DMZ. And then Sledgehammer released MW3, with their whole strategy aiming to fix Infinity Ward's missteps. Instead of creating their own title, they were essentially handed MW2 and tasked with fixing it. Slide canceling was back, and the Warzone 2 branding was gone, almost like it never happened in the first place. And now Treyarch is changing everything. Call of Duty's core mechanics are evolving like never before, taking their biggest leap since Advanced Warfare. While it's still technically boots on the ground, it's definitely pushing the boundaries. MW3 introduced features like faster movement and the return of slide canceling, but these were already a part of the game, and they were even quicker in Warzone 1. This, however, finally feels like something new, a true Warzone 2.0. After the longest development cycle in Call of Duty history, Treyarch's latest game feels like it might finally break the COD cycle. Call of Duty is adding purpose and progression to Warzone by reviving the classic prestige system and introducing Warzone exclusive mastery camos. And in my opinion, the map selection has never been better. With Verdansk returning alongside Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep, we essentially already have all the classics from Warzone 1. We also have map rotations and ranked playlists, which Warzone 1 lacked. For the first time ever, ranked play will be available day one. But I will say, as of recording this, solos are still missing from Resurgence, and other modes have been gone for months at this point. While these core rotations aren't perfect, far from it in fact, there are still more options today than there were. This new movement system is a complete contradiction from Warzone's launch. It's the first modern FPS with omnidirectional movement, letting you move at full speed no matter which way you're facing. Plus, there are now 2 ways to get unlimited attack sprint, either by switching to your knife that your player always carries, or by using a perk, while attack sprint was almost non-existent at launch of Warzone 2. This creates the biggest skill gap we've ever had in Warzone. Treyarch is also simplifying the attachment options, which just got ridiculous with Modern Warfare and the 300 scopes you had to scroll through. Backpacks are also being removed, so you can't sack them full of PAs and clutches anymore. It'll be the same as it was on Warzone 1. There's also a bunch of quality of life updates coming along. Objectively speaking, I really believe this Warzone is better than the last, but I'm curious what you all think. But no matter how many updates they add, nothing will be playing Warzone during the pandemic with the boys. The squad I played doesn't even get on anymore. They could even re-release Warzone 1 and it just wouldn't hit the same as it did. Anyways, I'll be making videos on Warzone loadouts and guides to improve all year. Or want more general Call of Duty videos like this, just let me know. And if you're new, I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.